course was in. So Brian McAleese, he twos the hole, and now he's only 3 away from Nick. We're on to basket 18. This is really one of my favorite holes on the course. To throw it over that hump, and it's a longer hole.
Looks like a real steep hyzer for a right-hander.
Yes.
And that's exactly what they're doing. That must be the preferred route.
It's a hole, Joe, where you really have to play position. You're not going to pin this hole. You really want to land it safe in the fairway, as we'll see. And these guys know just what they're doing. Oh, Nick, he gacked it a little bit. He threw it straight up in the air, and he caught that limb.
Yeah, now's not the time to make a mistake, but Nick's a fairly good veteran, and I think he'll handle that.
He's got a couple strokes to work with, so we'll see. And look at Steve. Those big forearms. Steve's been doing some martial arts, and he really has gained some strength and flexibility, and he's really he's doing real well. I talked to him about it, and he's really enjoying himself.
Is he really? That's good to hear. I know for quite a long time when he was president of the Mad Sea, he was doing an awful lot for the club, and probably took a lot away from his game, because he does have a decent game.
Yes. Here's Nick now, finding his spot on the fairway. He's got a tough shot here because it's a narrow alley that he has to get through here, and there's a creek all the way down the right side of this fairway, so he really wants to stay away from that.
Not much of a run up here. He's got a little work to do.
But you can see how the spot was most important. And here to talk about the spot.
Yeah, that was my shot. Straight through there.
Let's go inside the round with #1 ranked player in the world, Barry Schultz.
Hello, this is Barry Schultz, and I'm going to take you inside the round. What you just saw was Nick Kite marking his lie, and I'm going to show you why it's important to mark your lie properly. So here we are. I've got a tree in my way, I've got an upshot to the basket, but my disc is right in the middle of the tree. And we play it where it lies, as you know. When we're marking my lie, I have to imagine that 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock position, that line going straight through my disc, with 12 o'clock pointing straight at the basket. And that's where I put my mini, right on 12 o'clock. I don't want to put it here at 2 o'clock, I don't want to put it here at 10:30, I want to put it right there at 12 o'clock. That's the legal position. Then when I take my disc away, I still have that line going through the basket. I have to be touching that line with my spot, so I can stretch out this way, or I can stretch out this way. But it's important to be playing your lie where it is. And you don't want your buddies being in the woods getting an extra couple inches when they have bushes in their way. So that's why it's important everybody play by the rules. So here we are. That wasn't too bad. And thanks for coming inside the round with Barry Schultz.
What a great treat to have Barry on the inside the round this month.
Yeah.
Well, here's Ray now with his. Let's see what his approach is. Ray, really a strong player, and he made a run at it. Boy, that was close.
That's a great shot.
Yes.
This is Nick's third shot. This is a par 4 hole, so if he can get it close, he can still save his par. That looks like a great line. Looks fairly close. Brian from the rough.
Yeah, this is a tough angle now because he's got to loop it all the way around. You see how he had to come make a big right-hand turn on that, but boy, he handled that beautifully.
Yeah, that was a real nice Anheuser shot. For those of you who don't know what an Anheuser is, it's when you have to turn the disc in the reverse angle from the natural angle that you normally throw with.
All right, Nick, you cleaned that up.
Nice
Not
par.
too much damage done there.
And Steve looks good.
Well, Brian picked up the stroke there, and things are tightening up a little bit.
Back to 2 strokes.
Well, here they go now on the 17th hole played. They're on to hole #1. Don Price with the box. This is really one of my favorite holes at the Nixon course.
Yeah, I remember this hole real well. This is a nice, this is a real nice hole.
You can't cut it too early though, like Don did, or you're going to pay the price. Got to get it in between those trees, just like that.
That was a real nice shot right there, right down the middle. This hole might be too short for Steve.
I did take the run up, but nope. Caught the resistance there on the left side.
Nick needs to get a good shot off here.
Oh, come on.
Hold it a little bit.
That's the last
Oh.
time that disc is ever getting through.
Boy, that
Got
could be
over right.
disc selection a little bit there. You know, he picked something a little bit understable, and he paid the price there.
Yeah, it looked like it did flip over a little bit.
Let's see what Ray has. Boy, those guys, they really went early on it. You could tell that's a big dogleg left, and they're really trying to cut it early, but they're paying
Yeah.
the price for it. There you go, Don. It's better.
I guess you can be a little over aggressive sometimes, especially when you're trying to get back into the game.
Well, this is it. It's all winding down here. Our lead group in the Masters division, so if they're going to make a move, they got to make it now.
That's a pretty good recovery there by Steve.
What up?
Nick's got a tough shot. Definitely needs a par here. Don't want to lose any strokes with a bogey. Backdoors it. Look at that floater.
Ooh.
It's not a bad shot. I'll give him a putt.
Yeah, that's a really nice play.
Rough a little bit.
You know, for some of you viewers, sometimes the window that they're looking at is something that you can't see. They don't need to have a huge opening because this golfer is usually fairly comfortable with 4 or 5 foot openings, especially if they're point blank.
This will be interesting to see how Brian approaches this.
Watch it roll. Oh, that was good.
Again,
That didn't roll.
there's that Anheuser shot for Brian McAleese. And to talk a little bit more about that, we have Dave Feldberg, reigning U.S. DGC champion, with the Inside the Round.
Hi, you're Inside the Round with Dave Feldberg. I'm going to show you what Brian just did there on his approach. And let me go over what he did. It's called an Anheuser. And an Anheuser is thrown when it just moves left to right for right-handers or right to left for left-handers. And what you do is you throw the disc out of your hand with an angle that, with the top edge leading to the top and the bottom nose down. And what you do is, instead of trying to jerk your body over and throw an Anheuser, you just put your arm in the arc of an Anheuser and you just, in this throw, you want to keep your head up. As the champ used to say to me, chin up. Because if you have your chin up throwing Anheuser, you'll be less likely to throw it in the ground. So the grip on an Anheuser approach looks like this. We all kind of use it. It's a little off, maybe a little different for everybody, but it's called a fan grip. We don't like to power grip Anheuser approaches so you don't hold on to them. We'll do it again. This time, pay attention to the angle of the release of the disc. Well, what I showed you today was what Brian did in his round, and just go out there and work on your Anheuser.
Well, we have another guest appearance by a world-class disc golfer, Dave Feldberg. So really some great tips for our local players here, Joe.
Yeah, and he won the U.S. DGC last year.
I think that was the largest paycheck in disc golf history, $11,000 for him.
That's awesome.
So he's in that. I wasn't really.
Steve for par. That almost went out the back.
I'm just laughing at how strong he is. You know, a simple putt like that, and he almost knocks it through the chains. Oh, Ray.
As you can see, you know, you really have to be in the chains.
Yes.
Can't slide away. Can't have too much angle.
Well, as we head towards the last hole, we have Nick holding a 2-stroke lead over Brian, and Don Price in 3rd place, 3 strokes out. Well, here it is, the final hole. It's a 260-footer. Let's see what Brian's got in his bag. This is really, really a tough hole. There's very tight fairways. These trees really line the fairway. And again, I have to give so much credit to the Square Friends of Kennett for cleaning up this hole. This is one of the holes that was really devastated by the storms. They did an amazing job.
Yeah, the fairways look good.